Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. So this message, it comes from this interview that our team had. I don't know if you still remember this other video that we posted of this young lady, and the father's lady was saying that his wish is that if God can provide a wheelchair for his daughter, and God was really faithful, because after we had posted that episode, then there was this other dear brother of ours. He is abroad, and he then said that he wanted to donate that wheelchair. So he then sent us the money. Then our team went and bought that wheelchair. So they then traveled back to the village. They had the wheelchair as well as some groceries, because our dear brother, he also donated some groceries for that family that was suffering. After our team had traveled to that village, that was when they had this interview. Unfortunately, the woman who gave them the interview, she said that she was not willing to do it on the camera. So this is a narration of that interview that they had. The narration reads like this. Hello, my brother, how are you? Can you please post my story as anonymous? I am a lady who is aged 34 years old. My story goes on like this. There was one point in my lifetime where I used to stay in this area that is called Epworth. It is in the capital city of Zim, which is Harare. When I was staying in that location that is called Epworth, I used to have this other small market. It was just a fruit and veggie market. I used to sell at this other area that is called Dombo Ramngari, in translation, the Rock of God. Admin not at this place that is called the Rock of God, there is this mysterious footprint that can be seen on one of the rocks. One day we will go there and take some videos. When I was staying there in Epworth, that was when I got married to my husband. And at that time when I got married to my husband, then he said that he wanted to stay with me, and he didn't pay for my bride price, so we started staying together. This man, when I was staying with him, we stayed together for about 4 years, and when we were staying together, I then fell pregnant, and when I fell pregnant, we had our only child. After that, I then started telling him that I wanted him to take me to his people, because this was very weird to me. I had known this man for like the past 4 years, yet I did not know any of his relatives. I was really worried about this man. He didn't have any friend. There was no one who would ever come and visit this man. None of his relatives or any of his friends. I knew no one. He was a man who didn't socialize with anyone. After that, when I started giving him a lot of pressure, when I said, please take me to your relatives, that is all that I want, because I was now worried, because I had given birth to a child for this man. What was going to happen if I die, and if he dies as well, my child, what was going to happen to my child? So I wanted to know where this man came from, so that I can tell my son where his relatives are. My brother, at that time, I had this other sister of mine, and she was a very beautiful young lady. Each and every time when she would come to the location where I was staying, then my husband, he would act very funny. He would keep on looking at my little sister. And after that, when he was bold enough, that was when he started saying that each and every time when your little sister is here, I regret my wife because of the decision that I took. I was not supposed to get married to you. Had I waited any longer, I was going to come across your little sister, and she is the woman that I was supposed to get married to. Whenever you would say this, I'll get so hurt. My brother, whilst we were staying there in Epworth, poverty struck. That was when we went to this other village called Name Hidden. This village where we went, my brother, that is where my brother is staying. He has his own residential stand there in the villages. So I then went there with my husband because I had seen that staying in the city, it is very difficult. For you to eat something, you need to buy something. So when you are staying in the village, at least when you want to eat something, you can farm, you can cultivate those things that you want to eat. Whilst we were staying in that village called Name Hidden, that was when I suddenly fell ill. I had been infected by that dangerous disease that is called malaria. I could not even do anything for myself. I could not cook or do anything. And at the same time, I had a baby, and my husband, he was now working at this other mine, so left with no choice. That was when I spoke with my little sister. After I had spoken with my little sister, she then said that she was going to come to the village after she had spoken with her boss, because she was working as a maid. After her boss had given her the permission to travel to the village so that she can take care of me as well, my husband, he came back home and he told me that his own boss, he had given him some off days. So on the fourth day, this was somewhere around 5 p.m., after my little sister and my husband had traveled back to the village, that was when I said, I just feel that I need to eat some pap with sour milk, because I didn't want to eat anything that had salt or anything that was oily. So I just wanted that sour milk so that I would eat it with pap. My brother, that was when my husband said that he wanted to go to the shop with my little sister. So when I was looking at my husband, I didn't even expect that he was going to do the things that he ended up doing. So I said, it is fine. The both of you can go. They then went out and they started going to the shops. Little did we know that there was a demon that had entered into my husband's heart, and he had planned such an evil act that he had planned to do on my little sister. In the village where my brother is staying, as well as where we were staying at that time, there is this small river. For us to go to the shops first, you have to cross that small river. Whilst they were about to cross that small river, that was when my husband grabbed my little sister and dragged her into the bushes. And when he tried to abuse my little sister tried to run away, but he kept on grabbing her. So when he saw that this is what was happening, he then started to push my little sister's head into the water so that she can drown. So the more that she kept on fighting with him and screaming, that was when other people that were nearby heard the commotion that was happening in that river. When they went to that place, they saw that my husband, he was holding my little sister's head underneath the water, keeping her underneath the water so that she can die. That was when those people started fighting with my husband, and like the whole village started arriving at that place, and they started beating up my husband. After that, that was when the police came. When the police came, he then started boasting, and he said that, "Oh, you do not know me. I am a very dangerous person." He then confessed, and he said that when he ran away from his own village, it was because he had abused his own little sister. That is why he had ran away from the village, coming to the capital city. When the police came and arrested him, he didn't even stay for a very long time in prison. He only stayed in prison for about 2 years. After that, he came out of prison and he started going around the village boasting, and he was saying that he said that when he was growing up, his grandfather took him and he gave him some charms. So these charms, the way that they operate is like this: even if he commits a very dangerous crime, the police will arrest him, but you will always find a way to be released. This is the way the charms works. When he came back to the village, he came straight to the village where I was staying with my brother, and he had such confidence whereby he then took this other woman, this woman that he took, she was a daughter to this other powerful traditional healer from the same village. Then they started staying together. Whilst they were staying together, they didn't have any child together. After that, my brother, that was when they started fighting. When they started fighting, then that woman started to cheat on him. And when he found out that the woman that he was now staying with was cheating on him, he then took a axe, those ones that we use when we are cutting down trees, and he started assaulting that girlfriend of his that she was staying with at that time. He cut her up to pieces, and after that he ran away. When the spirit of that woman whom he had killed started to make him suffer, he then took a rope and he committed suicide. And at that time, my brother, when the police came, they didn't even know how to find his relatives. As for me, I told them that I do not know anything. And at that time, when he committed this crime of killing the woman that he was staying with at that time, me and him, we were already divorced. So the police just took it. So the police just took him. Right now, my brother, my son, he is 10 years old. And the most painful thing right now, my brother, that is happening is that even though my son is not HIV positive, but I am HIV positive, as well as my little sister, she is HIV positive. Because when I started staying with this man, I didn't even realize that this man, he was HIV positive. But lucky enough, when I gave birth to my son, God rescued my son, and I gave birth to him whilst he was negative. So the reason why, my brother, I have written this story to you, it is because of my son. There is a spirit that keeps on coming to him and possessing his body, and this spirit that regularly possesses his body, the spirit says that it is the spirit of that woman who was murdered by my son's father, and we do not even know what to do anymore. Because right now, whenever that spirit comes to possess my son's body, then he will become violent. What he usually does is that he takes a knife, and after he has taken a knife, he can even threaten to kill me. Sometimes I usually run, and sometimes I go and hide at the neighbor's house. Most of the times he tries to chase me. I have tried to go around, my brother, visiting a lot of prophets, and I am afraid that the more that I will try to go around looking for a solution, I am going to come across some of those people that will end up making me to become a ritualist. I am so confused. I do not even know what to do anymore. Right now, my son, the challenge that we are facing as a family is that anything that he will be holding at the time that the spirit will come to possess his body, he can try to hit you with that thing. It does not matter what kind of an item you will be holding. And when I saw that this is the way that he is behaving, I even saw it fit to make him not to go to school anymore, because I am afraid that the moment that he will be sitting with other kids in class, maybe he can even end up murdering any of his classmates because of the way that he is violent. When I look at my boy, he is growing up, and I do not even know any of his relatives. His father committed suicide, and after he committed suicide, this spirit is now chasing after my son. I have suffered, my brother. I have suffered a lot. I do not even know what to do anymore. If only I knew where his relatives are, I would even go there so that I can tell them what is going on with my son. They know what to do when this type of a thing happens in their bloodline, because me and my son, we are not related. I am only related to him because I am his mother, but genetically he belongs to his father. That is why this spirit is coming and possessing his body. Dear listeners, right there was a message that our team took when they had gone to deliver that wheelchair. We will try to travel back to that village so that they can ask her to to have an interview, and when they will be having the interview, we'll try to show you some videos of some people that we have interviewed and show you that we will not reveal her face, hoping that when she comes on camera, there are people that are going to come so that they can assist her.